Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I'm going to utilize this full moon to do one more read today because I feel really connected to some distinct messages that are trying to come through, and what it really is all about is what almost like your future self wants you to know. What does your higher self want you to know? Spirit Source is trying to connect some very simple premises to you to let you know that you're working your way towards a life of ease, of restfulness, of calmness, of balance, and you're only a few short steps away, that you're really there. You're on the precipice of this. And sometimes right being on the cusp of understanding is the toughest part. And that's kind of what this full moon realization is. And it being in Sagittarius in the last full moon before the season of eclipses, it's really poignant, and it really kind of stings deep in some of the areas that we really need to rectify in our life. I mean, we really feel it strongly. Like I felt it today. I'll be very accommodating to people and rush and do this and that, and then I will have my, you know, resources depleted mentally and physically for doing this, but I'll still have my workload be the same. So I have to realize kind of how to conjunct the two, relax and say no a little bit more to whomever, to clients, to family, because I'll just begin that momentum process of yes, and then I'll be like, whoa, I now, find it creeping up sometimes on midnight, and I'm still trying to upload videos and do all this stuff. So that's about, it's like pre-crisis management and how to avert that, and feeling pressed for time, because now is the season to just coast and feel restful and feel beautiful and feel bright and not be overloaded by anything, right? And again, most of it is in our head. Like I say in a lot of my videos, that I can create this curriculum of like the end of the world when it comes to bureaucratic crap like DMV or anything I have to do with that. I will put it off and put it off. Even appointments. It's like I hate to feel like I have to be somewhere. I'm such like a gypsy at heart that I hate to feel like I have to be somewhere at a certain time. I love to just do drop-ins to old places I work, to friends. It's like I don't like things that are scheduled, and I almost feel like at a principle I have to cancel them because they're constricting my time. So I absolutely hate appointments. So that's one of my things that I'm coming to terms with this full moon, is none of that stuff. So let's see what's going on for you, and we're going to choose a animal spirit for you too. But we have three choices. We have Artemis, which is purify, Gaia, which is the mother, and Hemera, which is rebirth. And a lot of this is occurring with all of you. You're very much getting elevated in who you are and what you understand right now. A lot of huge quantum leaps towards spiritual understandings and clarity. I mean, just a higher reasoning. That's all it is. It's a recognition that, wow, there is something, of course, much greater than ourselves, and it's an energetic connection to everything and everyone at all times. So why don't we utilize that for inner power, strength, connectivity, and love, right? And we're all have this burgeoning strength and feeling of that. But what happens is we regress into our prior behaviors. That's all that is. When we start to feel low or sometimes depleted from energy, we will think, oh my gosh, I can't get through this. I'm too tired. And then we create that old cycle of stinking thinking instead of reaching for optimism and hope. Like I can power through anything with the courage of my conviction. When I am like galvanized towards something, excited about it, there's no stopping me. So I'm like, why don't I apply that to everything in my life and just get things done? We know that about projects, right? Work projects, any projects, personal projects, all those things. But we've just got to sort of be that whippersnapper that goes, I've got this. I simplify everything in my mind. I convince myself, and that's how we get anything done. I convince myself of the simplicity of it, and that's why I take everything in 3 steps. Listen, you're going to do A, B, and C. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to take the next step, right? I don't look at the top of the mountain. I look at each step as I'm going up, because I don't overwhelm myself that way. And that's sort of like the breakthrough time you're going to have too. So let's see what some of the messages coming through to you. I felt like so compelled to grab certain cards, and I was just like, yay. So we're going to start with number 1. So you have Aquarius, I know. Now Aquarius is all about, I feel like they are very, and Aquarius in general is one of the most poetic, deep thinking, artistic, beautiful signs that there are. But this is you simply knowing that you know what's best for you. So when you're in that grocery store, why are you reaching for a big bag of Doritos or full sugared soda, things like that? We know, right? So we know what we put in our body is going to have ramifications if it's crappy. We know it's going to give us energy. Like today, I forced myself to buy cabbage and quinoa, and that's what I ate today. And I had tuna. And I tell you what, I feel good. I had zero digestive problems. The other day, I was in a crazy red meat bender and like eating everything. And guess what? My digestion wasn't functioning the way it should. And I was like getting pains and aches. And I know that kind of food doesn't agree with me, but it was like just one of those things of temptation. We're out at a nice restaurant. I'm like, I should eat a bunch of fatty red meat. It'll be great. You know what I mean? But we know. And that's what Aquarius says. We know what's good for us. We know it's going to balance us out, give us equilibrium, clear thinking. And mostly that is our self dialogue that I've got this. I'm capable. I know what the answers are. And God wants you to know you do know. And guess what? This is my favorite card in this whole deck. And I'm glad that you guys got this. It's the most beautiful artwork. Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper, Goodwill. Now, when you have goodwill to those around you and to yourself, you can't help but be successful because goodwill generates like an electric current to other people going, look at this person, they have something, they have this spark. And that's always remember your spark, always remember your passion, always remember that any kind of residual kindness that somebody has paid you, and pay it forward, because it is like gasoline to a fire. Any kind of mood is contagious, right? You ever been in a line and someone's hemming and hawing, bitching and moaning about, oh my God, this is taking forever. You start to feel antsy and displaced and you want to leave, right? But if you have someone who's just singing, humming along, and there's a cute little kid eating a lollipop and things, we all have phones and we have devices. If we can't stand still for 5 minutes, we reach for the good. That's when I start to design jewelry in my head. Me and my son are always dancing at the grocery store. There's always music somewhere. You know what I mean? Goodwill. That is your calling card, I feel, group. Number one, I feel like you have goodwill. When people see you, they feel relieved. They feel happy. They feel a compunction to get closer to you because you vibrate a high frequency and a high energy. So remember that. If Source has any message to you, it's know that you reverberate goodness, lightness, and this beautiful aura around you, and you are healing just by the presence of yourself. So I feel if any of you guys think of endeavors in the light working field, such as Reiki, counseling, a lot of people are very healing just through their voices, their tone of their voice. People get lonely and they like people to speak to them and let them know they matter. So a lot of sound is very important. I'm very, very attuned to the pitch of people's voice. And if it's very high, shrieky, I can't tolerate for very long, but voices and sound are very soothing. David Attenborough, I could listen to from sun up to sundown and I would never tire of his voice. It's very beautifully acoustic and very calm, but I feel like there's something about your presence that's very healing, and your guides and sources want you to know to keep it up. Whatever you're doing beautifully. Now here, your next card is read the energy. And this is associated with you walking in a room and taking the emotional, taking the emotional temperature of it. Do people look angry, stressed, or whatever? And I feel like you can take the temperature of the room and read the energy, and you can alter it for better frequency, better vibrations. I feel like you have that gift to do that. You impart wisdom, calm, and serenity and by your existence. So use that. Spirit wants you to know that you have this gift and to do it, because people want peace of mind and calm, and you are able to give that with your beautiful presence. So I love that for you, Group 1. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. Great to see you. And come see me on Instagram too. I'm Sparkwist11. I do daily posts and memes and fun things and reads, and I love connecting with you guys over there. Now on to Gaia. This I definitely feel like you have a green thumb. You have a grower's gumption. Like I feel like what you touch turns to gold. You have the Midas touch when it comes to plants, animals, things like that. Very healing touch, very growth. And I love this card for you. So your message is definitely so it shall be. So what you implant in your mind and you tell yourself, so it shall be. Hey, I'm successful. I know how to speak to crowds. I have it together. I have a wonderful memory. I understand pain and suffering. Therefore, I can transmute that into healing and growth in a lesson. I am able to reach into my mind. It's a steel trap that holds information I've garnered throughout the years and pull out what I need and what's necessary to help myself and others in times of crisis or calm, regardless. You can really surprise yourself when you start that inner dialogue of, wow, I have a really great memory. I can remember things. You can pull things out of childhood. Ask a kid about a movie he loves, or she loves. Ask them about this movie, and they can tell you every little tiny detail down to the color of the scarf somebody's wearing, to every single word in a song in a Disney film. Like you ask a little girl about that what is that movie with the two sisters Anna, and there's it's like icy cold, whatever it is. It was like huge. And anyway, Frozen, yeah. They know all the words. They know everything about it. Why? Because it's interesting to them. So if you make the information that you take in, say your job, what you're learning, if you say this is really interesting and I want to know about this, I'm going to turn it into a song, I'm going to make it awesome, you're going to have it be, and so it shall be interesting, and so you shall retain that information, and so you'll be able to divulge it whenever you need it. And you tell yourself, I'm at ease in any social situation. You can be attending graduations, weddings, whatever you want, and you're going to feel great. Bar mitzvahs, you're going to feel, sound. A lot of people think they have to be a source of entertainment, enlightenment, and or humor. Like they have to be interesting. I am so over ever having to prove myself or elicit some sort of persona when I'm out, that actually draws more people to me, because they see an authentic person that, I like. At big social events, I sometimes see as a place of observation, and I love it. So do that as same. People that are not trying to prove themselves in any way, shape, or form actually become more charismatic, because they're like a self-contained unit. They don't have to prove themselves. Have you ever been in that group where somebody's just comedic nonstop and you're actually exhausted by the effort they're putting forth to be liked? I mean, we all see that, right? Or they're trying to seem smarter and they're just spewing facts left, right, and center, and it doesn't make much sense, but they just want to fit in. And as an empath, I can see that, and I never deride or think less of somebody for trying to do that, but I will try to get away from them so I can have peace of mind, because I can smell desperation, fear, or anxiety a mile away, and I feel like you're just going to be at ease wherever you are. So it shall be. Tell yourself, I am successful, I'm balanced, I can reach in, I can get whatever I want. Now, I just did a private reading this came up for, and I love this. From word to world, it's the same premise. From the word that you tell yourself, it then comes out into the world. You are capable, you are flexible, you can solve any problem. You are diverse and flexible and loving and lovable and valuable and worthy and worthwhile. All of those things. Draw that beautiful energy in, start to feel it, ruminate in it, let yourself know, be reassured by that we are divinely guided. What we want also wants us, and it's seeking us, and it'll find us. And rest assured, we don't have to chase or struggle anymore. It's just going to come, and you'll feel that energy, and it'll feel beautiful and peaceful. So wonderful, wonderful message for you, group 2. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and thanks for coming to watch my video. All my links are down below. If you need a private read, come see me on Instagram. It is Sparkwist11. I do daily posts. I have so much fun. I love connecting you guys over there and messaging with you. It's a very helpful mechanism. So yeah, come over and say all my links are down below. Goddess Provisions Box, my Etsy store with all my crystals and my goodies, and I make, I have tons of rings and jewelry, and I make things like out of natural stones, like this bracelet and agates, and I get the best stuff, so I'm able to create it. Now we're on to Hemera, which is about rebirth. I feel like a lot of you guys right now at this present time, you're experiencing this. Sometimes you don't even recognize yourself. How you completely stay out of arguments, how you don't want to gossip anymore, how you don't want to overeat or overindulge or go to vice as opposed to virtue. You're just over it. You're like, I don't need to self-medicate with this weird stuff that isn't even helpful in any regard, and I then suffer from later financially or physically or whatever it is. You're just not going to do it. You don't need like that residual hangover. You understand that you can act from a place of responsibility for your highest self, because it is a rebirthing process where you're hearing these messages from your higher self, from your future self, saying, don't harm yourself. You're a beautiful, valuable individual who I cherish and love and is special, and the world is lucky to have you. And it really is. I mean, there is nobody like you. There is one you, and the world and the universe is super happy that you are here. And sometimes we can't avail ourselves of our strongest, funniest, swiftest self, and who really cares? I have more sympathy, compassion, and I feel like the likability factor is high in people that don't put on a persona of perfection, that just are what they are. Sometimes they just show up. I'm sorry, I gotta go to class or go to work looking a little hellish. Who cares if I didn't wash my hair? My clothes are a little crazy. That are genuine, that are purposeful, that they would rather spend their time doing something charitable and giving than just always be preening in the mirror. Because in the end, we're all just souls, and we're connecting on an energetic level, and that facade wears very thin quickly anyway. You can see it in someone's eyes You can see it in their behaviors, whether it's like nervous, jerky reactions or smooth, calm demeanor. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. And I feel like you are blossoming. And look, part of this, your message is rest. I feel that you guys are, a lot of you are overachievers. You really, really like to raise the bar and do things and accomplish. And you're go-getters, and you like to, not you like to prove yourself to yourself. You're not out trying to impress, but you are definitely going full throttle, maybe one too many days too often, and you're used to that momentum. And sometimes it's hard to get off the merry-go-round. I know that. Being self-employed, I'm always trying to up my game and research for the best, answers that are out there, the best doctors, the best advice, all this stuff. But what happens is, if I do that too many days in a row, and I have tons of reads, and I'm trying to put out quality videos and make jewelry and deliver it and do everything, and I'm kind of strange in that I don't trust my stuff in anybody else's hands. I don't even let them package my things and send them off, my jewelry, because I want it a certain way. You know what I mean? So this is meant for me to rest from trying to prove anything else to yourself, because guess what? You are enough. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are wonderful. You are one of a kind, and nobody compares to you, because there is only one of you. And I feel like you're under this transformation of a beautiful intuitive phase right now too. So don't look outside yourself for answers. Your true power is definitely reflected in the still reflection that you're going to see, the waters within you. So now is really the moment to meditate and ask for a vision. I feel like your guides want you to receive some very strong synchronistic numbers, visions, and it's crazy. I'm hearing swans are going to be one of your birds. I'm also hearing that hawks and just all kinds of animals I'm seeing are going to be part of your power receptacle. So your psychic perception that's inherent in you is really going to grow. I feel like you're transforming your ideas into reality, but you're realizing nothing happens overnight. So you're resting, you're recuperating from, what you did before. And I love, this is your other animal. That's why I kept visioning this. This was the next thing in the deck. I feel like butterflies and bees are going to be some of your totems, because you are a busy little bee. You're constantly doing and going and fluttering and fixing. And I feel like you're a fixer. I feel like you're someone who cares so deeply for family members, and you're pulled to help repair and do all this. But it's time to rest as well, and realize when you step back and get in beautiful, receptive yin energy, which is you receiving, people doing things for you, right? Sometimes we all fall into this category, and we create it, and we forget that that is not who we are. We get that squeaky wheel gets the oil. We have that person, the family we work with or whatever, they always get dibs, or they always get to do whatever, because it's formed a pattern of them always having last say, because people's subconscious just sort of start to accept that. But now you're questioning things and going, oh, no, 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 no. There's a new mayor in town, and this is how we do things now, right? It's not whoever yells the loudest gets the most attention. There has to be a balance in this, and you're really starting to speak up for yourself, because you're coming from a rested, well-balanced place, and your throat chakra is healed, and you are speaking what you need to speak. You're hitting the mark. You're setting good intentions with healthy detachment, which is super, super important. Spirit is saying just do that, detach, because when you do that, you get off your present course of shooting yourself in the foot and trying too hard and go. You don't want any fantasy or ego desires anymore. You're in the concept of, this is not a competition. Life is not a competition. It's to be enjoyed. It's to be savored. And that's what you're doing. And you're going to be compensated for having this outlook in a very beautiful way, because it's time for you to be in a restful state. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of discipline, and you're setting boundaries, and it's things you need to do. And also, let people be generous to you and get in a receiving mode, because I feel like you're the giving tree, and it's time for a little compensation, right? So you can persevere and do what you want. And also other people won't feel entitled around you. You know what I mean? When you're constantly giving people, then expect it. It's very odd. Like, I've had people I worked with, I'm not kidding you, I gave somebody a Christmas present, and it was of a necklace, and she looked at the one I was wearing, and she goes, I also really like that. And I was like, right then, it's like, and I'm like, to me, she didn't even really know about me right then. I had pretty much just met her. I go, that's nice. And I just walked away, right? Because it's like, you're going to know the way forward. You're going to listen to your voice within, and it's going to help you succeed. So beautiful energy, group 3, 11 light to you. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below.